Now, is there audio coming in? Can you hear this through the live stream? No. Okay. Is there audio? Alright, we're getting the microphone. This is the first time I've ever done this. I wanted to... Hi, Native American Chicago. This is the first time I've ever done this, actually. This is going to be a new little thing for me, and I'll see how long I can keep doing it. I think I might be able to do it every week, so I wanted to show you a little bit about how I'm making these songs. That this song that I'm going to do today is actually my new song, my newest song that's going to come out soon. There's actually a new one that I'm working on now. This one's called By My Freedom. And it's pretty, I don't know, it's kind of self-explanatory and kind of confusing, but it's got elements of a lot of feeling in it, a lot of different feelings. So I thought I would just kind of play you a little bit of the song. It's the first time it's ever aired. It's probably not going to be out on most platforms for another month or so. But if you're interested in hearing it earlier, I will probably do some sort of sneak preview. So we're going to start with the beginning of the song. And let me just make sure this is coming through the live stream.
Could I buy my freedom, sir, for just a little disgrace? Patience just isn't my first or last name. Could I hold up this agony and let it feel light?
Okay, so that's the beginning of the song there. Sorry, this is the first time, so it's a little I have to like check on the audio and all that. Won't have to do that next time. But anyway, so it's coming through there, and I really wanted to show you what I did with these intro sounds. So if you hear that wow thing, I just felt like, so it used to be without them. Let's take out all the stuff. I think the oohs were there at first. So it's just the guitars, which really does work, and I considered keeping it like that for a long time.
My freedom.
It's nice and simple, and actually now I'm listening to it, I'm like, did I make the right choice?
Could I buy my freedom?
Anyway, and then I thought I wanted to add this little piano sound, this kind of whoom, this kind of like subtle whoom. So I did that, but it hit a lot of the features I wanted it to have. Like it kind of sounded a little tropically, but it still sounds actually a little bit too transient, percussant of a sound, like a little bit too thwacky. I wanted it to be more like kind of saturated and like a subtler attack on the sound, and so I messed with it a lot, so we can listen to the track without all the changes I made to it. Let's take all of this off. So I think the direction mixer was actually part of it already, but so there's that sound to begin with, and it's actually nice. It has actually it sounds nicer in some senses, actually, maybe like that. But it's more percussive like this. It's very percussive. So one of the most important things, this thing is incredible. It's one of my favorite plugins. I don't know if you guys can see it. Oh man, is it like not showing up? It's totally not showing up. Damn. Okay. That means I'm gonna have to take a side note to see how to add the whole Logic window group. Window capture. It's a real bummer if you can't see the plugins. That was kind of the whole point. Mixer engines, tracks. we already have that. Yeah, that's, ugh, that is so annoying. Okay, I'm gonna have to do some research to figure out how that works. Whoops. Let me put this back in the frame. Sorry guys, I thought I had it all figured out, but I didn't think about that test. So next time, hopefully that'll be fixed. But for now, since you can't see the plugins, you'll just have to trust me and hear it. So there's a ton of plugins here. I have this transient mixer, which I'm using to reduce the, hey Lucy, reduce the attack of the sound. So let's just play that sound a few times. So that's my nylon guitar is what I started with, and I wanted it to be kind of a lot more subtle than that. So actually here's where it started out. It's kind of percussive. It sounds beautiful actually, but it's kind of percussive. If you take this, I can't show you the plugins right now because I haven't figured this out, but if you turn on a bunch of stuff that I added, it starts to really sound different. So now there's like delay and this kind of like magical sound, but I didn't really achieve the sound that I wanted to. But I guess I decided that this was close enough, and I did some other things around it to achieve the sound that I wanted to. So I'm gonna play you the whole intro now on loop. Whoops, I forgot to unmute these tracks. So that's what it would have sounded like with just those modifications to the sound. But then I added these other parts that I thought really kind of filled in the sound around it. The whole point of that little, excuse me, the whole point of that little plastic guitar thing at the beginning there is you've already got the ooze, but it's to kind of like bring you into the song a little bit. But I didn't really want all of those sounds to continue past that little intro. So if you listen to the song, you can hear there's this little thing comes up.
Could I buy my freedom, sir, for just a little disgrace?
It really dissipates and leaves room for the song to start, and then you have that first verse. So, but it doesn't sound that good alone. I thought that it was kind of like weird and interruptive and out of the blue. That guitar, it's cool, but it's kind of like too isolated alone. So I added some stuff around it, and I'll tell you what it is in a second. If you unmute all those.
Could I buy my freedom, sir, for just a little
And I actually don't know how well you could hear those because I could barely hear a little bit of it. But one thing you'll notice is this track here. This is actually that little plastic guitar thing, but in reverse. So you just take the audio clip and reverse it, and now it kind of swells upward, and you cut it off at whatever point you want, however loud you want to let it swell before it hits the actual note. So it's actually, if you listen to them together, I didn't do the best job on this actually. You can hear it swells up and then it hits. That's kind of cool. That was actually not the best job at that phenomenon, but you can do that. And then here, I think I added a little bass lick to get it. Okay, there we go. That that sounds a lot different in the master. I think it's a lot louder.
Could I buy my freedom, sir, for just a little disgrace?
So there you go. That's how, that was like a quick explanation of the first, 3-5 seconds of the song. And that's not like I do that for every 5 seconds of the song, but that's a lot of what it is like just those little tiny little things. So, let's keep listening to that beginning part and focus on some other parts of the song.
Could I buy my freedom, sir, for just a little disgrace?
So obviously the acoustic guitar and the vocals are the most important, the driving things there. So if you look at, so we don't have a lot of options here. You can see these two things labeled electric guitar, E-guitar 1. I get lazy and don't update my names, so they're all named the same thing sometimes. At least there's some colors going on. In Logic, when you make a new track, you have to change the color immediately, because when you record in, that recorded bit is going to be the color of the track. And then if you then change the color of the track, it'll change it here and subsequent colors of recordings, but it won't change the old one, and that's really annoying to me. I hate it. I'd rather just not change the color at all if they're gonna have mismatching colors like that. Anyway, if you look at the acoustic guitars here, you can see that there are actually all these like lines in between them. Let me make it bigger for you. Here you can see the waveform there of each one. So the guitar part is actually, this is a very common trick, the oldest trick in the book. Everyone does this. You just record the acoustic guitar 2 times and put it in opposite channels, in the left and the right channel. So if you listen to just one of the guitar parts, I don't know how it's coming through in stereo for you guys, but that's just in the left ear. And this one's just in the right ear. And you can hear they're quite different guitar parts, actually. And that can be a cool effect. It's kind of hard to pull off. I don't know if it really went that well in this song. I think this song works because of all the other parts that go with it. You could hear that little reverb there. So when you put them together, you get this really interesting mix. And as long as they're close enough in time, it sounds pretty good. So. I don't want to get too far into the song. I want to just talk about this beginning bit so that I have more to talk about next week. But, and I don't want to waste all your time. It's been like, what, 13 minutes? So I'm just going to go for a little bit longer. But, so anyway, what I was going to say is that there's all these, you can see these lines and you can see these like light colored things in between them. Those are actually crossfades. So these are actually Franken takes. These are like, you call it composite, basically. So it comes from, actually I've deleted all the takes, but I recorded a couple takes of the guitar. Sometimes you mess up in like one spot, and so you can just chop that out and replace it with another bit. And actually these days I've become a little bit insane about how much I comp things. I am like real perfectionist about getting things in time. It's one of the most important things in making a really nice pop song. It's not like everything has to be in time, but the timing has to be like pretty exquisitely intentional. So like you can have like one little thing out of time that maybe was an accident and it can go well. You can plan to have like, you know, only one thing on the beat and then everything else is kind of a little off beat. So it's not like everything has to be like perfectly in time exactly, but getting a song to be as like a whole song, for it to move forward with some level of perfection in the timing, is actually quite important and a lot of work. So that's been what I've learned in the last several years. So anyway, a lot of the time comping is good, sometimes probably not good, sometimes probably not doing it enough. But anyway, getting back to that beginning of the song, here's these electric guitar parts. I actually don't even know if they're active. There you go, you can hear them. So those are super subtle, and they're that little jingly air that's supposed to be like kind of taking you into the story of the song. You know, this is the dream. This is the dream aspect of the song. It's always like a cloud that's like taking you through the rest of it. But if you take them off solo, you really can barely hear them. So if you start at the beginning of the song, here you are.
Could I buy my freedom, sir, for just a little
Yeah, you like don't even know it's there. I don't know that you would notice it if it's gone, but there are certain times in this, there's certain parts of the song where other things dip and you can hear these, and it's I think they're a good addition.
Light. Could you hold up your horses if they're rearing for a
So
fight?
you do, I think. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but I can hear a big difference here. I'm going to play it for just like a little bit, and then I'll mute them out. Mute just those two tracks.
Could I buy my freedom, sir, for just a little disgrace? Patience just isn't my first or last name. Could I hold up this agony and let it feel the light?
They're almost acting like a reverb on the main acoustic guitar or something. It's like a lot of body. It's giving a lot of body there. And it's an important role. But it's actually really hard to give, to use, it's hard to give body in songs without giving mud. So like a lot of those frequencies, a lot of that, it builds up and it just gets roary, and it clouds up everything else. Clouds not even, it's mud. It's like muds up everything else. So you have to like really cut a lot of frequency. I'll get into that one day. You have to like, I don't even know how to do it that well, but you have to basically deal with this issue that, it's really kind of those low mid frequencies that, they're really important. They give the body to the song, but they are I find them to be like the hardest thing to keep under control, and probably one of the things that I agonize about the difference between some of my masters and the professional ones. But anyway, guys, thanks for joining me for Mixing Mondays. That was really fun. I did not expect that to be as fun as it was, although I have to figure out this plugins thing. I'm gonna write that down. And I hope I remember to do this every Monday, because that was really cool. So thank you guys for watching, even for a little minute, and I'll be back to play on Wednesday, my usual live stream set.